So I figured I left with no other choice but to take my message out to the internet. So what you're seeing here is my Xbox One Day 1 edition, pre-ordered exactly on the very first possible day from Best Buy here in Florida, and picked up on the very first night that you could pick it up. I then waited about a week because I was on vacation to actually open this one up and set it up. So I opened it up. I didn't completely set everything up, but I got enough that I could go ahead and play a game. Quite enjoyed it. Been a Xbox guy ever since the original Xbox about a decade ago. So I went a couple weeks ago to turn it back on to play some more. By this point, I probably had only played maybe 3-4 hours at most, and the Xbox would not turn on. So I thought, okay, maybe it was a bad outlet. I tried several different outlets. Still, nothing would come on. I knew that these were outlets that worked, so I'm thinking, okay, there's something wrong with the device. So I made my first call to Xbox One support on November 29th, which was a Friday. So we did some troubleshooting, and we determined that the issue was, at least what we figured, was the power supply. So what would happen is if the power supply was plugged into the wall but not into the Xbox, then that little yellow-orange light on the power supply would come on, but as soon as you plug it into the actual Xbox, the light would go off. So in dealing with support, obviously they would go ahead and replace it. But instead of shipping me a replacement power supply first, so that I could then send mine back, I was told no, I had to go and send my power supply in first, and then a replacement would be sent out. So I was also told that I was going to get a shipping label emailed to me to go ahead and cover this free of charge. So I waited a day, didn't get the email, contacted again, and now sometimes I go through the phone support, sometimes I go through the chat support. Have to be honest, if you ever have to deal with them, phone support is better. I don't know where these people are chatting with me from, but I feel like they really don't know exactly what's going on, and I'll get to that in a minute. So chatted with the representative who told me, it should be, about 48 hours. So again, original call was on a Friday. Waited until the following Monday. Now I'm on my third call. Finally spoke to someone who advised me, I could have just gone to a FedEx location and given them the address, and they could have printed up the label there. So mind you, this was started early enough on Friday that if I had been told that information, I could have turned around and sent the device out on Friday. Now we've sent the device out on a Monday. Sent it and verified with the tracking information that it was received at the facility on Thursday, December 5th. Now I was told that there should be a quick turnaround. Basically, as soon as they get my device, go ahead and ship one out. Shouldn't take more than a couple days. So of course, on Friday, I then call and just want to verify and say, I see that my device had been received. Just want to know what's going on. I believe a representative, and at this point I've lost track of whether these were phone or chat sessions that I was dealing with. But basically advised me that they see that my request is in some form of processed or complete status, so I should be receiving it, within a week. I asked, okay, is there any kind of tracking information? That information will be emailed to you. Again, I wait a few days, still don't get any kind of information, so I contact support again. I believe this is now the fourth or fifth time that I've contacted them. This time I'm told, let's see, which one? The situation. Oh, so this time the device might take almost up to 2 weeks to be sent out, which I, at that point, almost kind of flipped. That was definitely a chat person. So, of course, while I'm chatting with that person, I then actually call support on the line. And then the support person by phone tells me, no, the 2 weeks is basically a total time frame. So from the time that I send my device until the time I get, the replacement back, that total should be 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Still was told I would be sent some tracking information within the next day or so. So we wait another few days. I believe, based off of my conversation, I should have received tracking information. I actually really should have received the unit last week, but I should have at least received tracking information probably by last Thursday. That'd be the 12th. So again, come Friday, still haven't received any information. So now I've called support again, explained the situation to them. This time a representative said, I don't see that anything has been done on this request at all. So I have no idea who's giving me the wrong information, what's going on. But again, I nearly almost flipped out on this guy. So he said he will take the information, he will forward it to, as they call it, level 3. And level 3 would get back in touch with me. He could not give me any kind of time frame. He could not, do any kind of priority under the situation. Basically, he was sending it off to Never Never Land, and someone would get back in touch with me. So again, I waited a couple days, still didn't hear anything. So I called a representative again today. Today being Tuesday. What is today? Tuesday, December 17th. And this was a phone conversation, and this time I reached a representative by the name of Ryan. Unfortunately, I should have probably kept a record of everyone I talked to. Hopefully, this information is on their side. But anyway, so my call with Ryan took a while, and I will admit that, granted, I still have no trust for anyone at Xbox support. I at least kind of felt like he was doing his best to make, the best out of a bad situation. But he basically told me he could find no information to suggest that my issue had been sent to level 3, that the person told me on Friday they were doing. So again, he took all of my information. I verified that the package had been received by Xbox support, and he issued me a new service request number on top of my original service request number, and told me that I needed to give them 3 to 5 uninterrupted business days to work. So I'm guessing what that means is I'm not supposed to call for 5 days. Now these people are supposed to email me, at some point, but of course, as my experience has been, I quite honestly don't trust anybody at this point. I actually sent a tweet this morning to Xbox support, supposedly as they, put on their Twitter page, fastest, Twitter support, in the Guinness Book of World Records or something like that. I never got a reply to that. I had to take it upon myself to actually go and file a Better Business Bureau complaint against Microsoft on Monday, because honestly this is ridiculous, and the whole point of this is not only is my $500 Xbox that I've been waiting since May or June for sitting in this box right now instead of being hooked up to my TV, the Xbox itself still could be broken. I won't know that until I get a working power supply to come back, which I don't understand why a billion-dollar company could not just have sent me the power supply first. It's not like I was asking for the whole Xbox. You could have sent me a power supply first, just to make sure that that wasn't the issue. Because now, if I finally get a power supply at some point, and it's still not working, This entire process is going to have to be done all over again. And I really think it's sad. Like I said, I've been, basically Team Xbox since the very first original black one with original Halo. And, considering that the PlayStation 4 was out, majority of my friends went with PlayStation. It was $100 cheaper. I'm really kind of thinking this go round I made the wrong decision. So hopefully, this information kind of gets out. I'm sure there's got to be some other people, that are in my same situation. And, hopefully, that you are not alone. And, at some point, hopefully before the end of the year, I'll get to play my Xbox again. Lord knows I need something soon because the game I bought is actually stuck inside the machine. So really can't do anything till I get my power supply. Thanks.